What's going on, dudes? StickInRink live on Sunday. What is it, Raph? May 27th?
What? This is going live?
Yeah.
No, this is going live. Today's the 23rd, not the 27th. And it's going live on the 24th, which is tomorrow.
Easily got the day wrong.
Easily the 27th.
But we're live now. Episode drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the StickInRink boys are back, minus a 250-pound milk bag. But before we get started, let's talk about some DraftKings. DraftKings, proud sponsor of the Hockey Podcast Network. And daily betting, daily fantasy. Take your lineup, draft your players, stay under the cap. At sign up, use promo code THPN. That is THPN on DraftKings, and then get what is it? $5 entry?
Yeah, I believe it's $5 entry.
$5 entry. It's not like we've been plugging this thing for the last 3 months. We probably know.
Yeah.
But when there's no script involved and you're hitting it raw, you just gotta wing it once in a while.
There's a reason Elijah does this and not you and me.
Yeah, 100%. And then obviously to make sure that you are legal to gamble your money away.
Yeah.
From your piggy bank or your student loans, whatever you bet from. And let's get to it. So, Ralphie.
Josh.
Let's go around the horn. Oh wait,
yeah?
There's only one person I can go to. How are ya?
Good, buddy. I'm good. I'm chilling here. I just had some dinner recently. Grabbed some water. You and I decided to fucking plan an episode for once, as opposed to us just showing up 5-10 minutes ahead of time and just diving right into it.
Dude, I'm gonna give you some credit, man. We took probably 45 minutes to an hour to plan this episode, and it's kind of a banger right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I think we've got some fun things that I feel like we just you and me just ultimately want to catch up on. Obviously we're gonna have hockey talk and all that kind of jazz, but I feel like there's just fun conversation that you and I have been wanting to have for weeks.
Yeah, 100%.
Weeks upon months upon years.
And I always, don't get me wrong, I love when the Big Easy is here chilling with the boys. I love it. But he's a simp right now. He's camping with his girlfriend. I don't know, dude. That might be a yellow card. We might have to discuss that with him.
Yellow card for an episode. Where is he? He's out in what? Bridal Falls, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that. I don't even know where that is. Is that in Hope?
No, Bridal Falls is towards Squamish. Or actually, no, you might be right. I'm thinking of Brandywine Falls.
Right. Yeah. So Elijah's camping. He's out. Probably no cell reception. If he does have it, he's probably watching us call him a simp. But yeah, so he's not here. And what we're going to cover today, I guess, is there's some NHL talk.
Yeah.
There's some F1 talk.
Yeah.
Huge F1 guys now.
Yeah.
And then we're going to round it off with some internet stories. And we're going to say goats and votes for Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
When we're live, probably at around 8 or 9 o'clock. So, dude, news though, before we get into all that.
Yeah.
I am vaxxed. Dude,
you were vaccinated.
I officially have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Let's fucking go.
Did you actually get Johnson & Johnson?
No, I don't think.
What did you get? Moderna? Pfizer?
No, fuck, dude. You think I'm a simp like Elijah? Dude, I got Pfizer. Come on.
You got Pfizer.
I got Pfizer. Pfizer's the GOAT. And dude, honestly, the process of actually getting everyone done was actually nuts. It was probably the most efficient operation I think I've ever been a part of.
Really? Where did you get it done? Just did you pull in with your car? Or did you go to a rec center or something and sit down?
It's called the Anvil Center. It's on Columbia and New West, right on waterfront there.
Okay.
And yeah, so I ended up getting vaxxed, which was great. And it took, dude, I was in line, my appointment was scheduled for 1:20.
Yeah.
I was gone by 1:43.
Oh wow, good for you. Just in and out, right?
23 minutes, dude. It was actually nuts. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, and honestly, they make you feel like a little thing of piece of paper. Like if you have any
Yeah.
allergies, all that stuff, you hand it in, you go through the process, have your BC services card, and then that's it. Like that's all you need.
Yeah.
And then you just sit in a chair. You're in like your own little barrier between people, and
Yeah.
then that's it. Like it's very I think they called it, in terms of the setup, they called it like the stadium vaccine or something like that. So it's like stadium seating where or gymnasium.
Gymnasium.
Yeah. So yeah, I was pumped. So
Fuck yeah.
I'm vaxxed, I'm waxed, and we're ready.
You're ready to party.
I'm ready to party, dude.
That's sick that you had an appointment, because like having an appointment makes the process so much more streamlined, because you immediately get pushed to the front of the line, past everybody who's walking in, save yourself like an hour and a half of just standing doing fucking nothing, waiting to maybe get a vaccination, and then you're just like immediately in and out. Like it's actually crazy.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Like it's actually crazy. So yeah, but dude, Josh's summer is looking up already.
Yeah.
So that's good. You're vaxxed, right?
Yep. Yeah, I got vaccinated 2.5 weeks ago or something like that. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Would you get Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Good shit.
Did you get any like symptoms or sicknesses or anything?
Dude, all I'm gonna say is it felt like I went fucking shot for shot with Floyd Mayweather in my left arm, dude. It actually fucking hurt.
Yeah,
like,
it sucks.
It's still actually like when I push on like where it actually was poked or where I was poked,
Yeah.
it hurts. Like it's more so like irritating.
Yeah.
But dude, that day and the day after, dude, fuck, I was dying.
Really?
I just like my arm was on fire.
Oh.
But yeah,
you have to stretch it out.
I know. You were telling me that, and obviously Josh didn't really listen.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. Rafi.
Joshua.
We're a little banged up today, dude.
Dude, we are in rough shape, you and me today.
We're a little banged up. It's I had some drinks.
Leave it to fucking us to show up hungover the one day that Elijah's not there to fucking help us out with the podcast.
I know.
Like we're already putting ourselves at a disadvantage, and then now we're also showing up hungover, so it's just like added insult to injury.
Dude, seriously.
And yeah,
like Elijah is giving us the keys to the castle.
Yeah.
And we show up like this. He's like, all right, boys. Like he's like that dad that finally decides to trust his two sons.
Yeah.
And is like, okay, guys, like, I'm going to leave you to it. Make sure you mow the lawn, wash the car. And you come.
And we wash the lawn, mow the car.
And we're just wrestling, playing Xbox.
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing. There's a hole in the wall.
100%.
That's pretty much what the comparison is right now. So,
yeah.
But we'll get it done just on our own timeline, Elijah. So don't worry. So if you're watching, we're doing it. We're doing it for you. We're doing it for
also, if you're watching, we're sorry in advance. All right, let's continue.
Yes, exactly. So,
dude, I can't fucking.
Why don't we talk about how many ounces we had yesterday? Because I had quite a few.
Yeah.
Like, I'm convinced I probably had like 10, 11 White Claws.
Yeah.
Easily a couple shots.
Yeah.
I yacked because I'm a pussy.
I briefly saw you, and I think like 45 minutes in, you told me that you had thrown up before I'd gotten there.
Yeah.
It's like it's just like an immediate thing.
It felt pretty good, but the worst part is like this is really disgusting. But I sneezed, and like a chunk of puke like came out of my shirt, like, and it landed on my hand, and I'm looking at this thing, and I get you know how it smells, right?
I don't want to think about it. Yeah,
I
dude.
look at it, I'm like, yeah, no, let's get that off there, and I just rubbed it into the garbage. But yeah, so White Claws, tequila, some fucking watermelon slushy shit, and
there's definitely rum. There's definitely rum as well. Yeah.
Oh God. There's nothing worse than when you're already tapped out and someone's like, let's do some shots of rum.
Yeah.
And you're
like, no.
You're thinking to yourself, what the fuck is wrong with you right now?
Yeah.
It's 10:30 at night and we're shooting straight rum.
Yeah.
That's grody. So
that's not it.
Yeah, it's not it. But safe to say the White Claw collection is depleting at a rapid rate, which is actually crazy.
Yeah, we never would have accounted for this. We don't know how it happened.
Yeah, I know.
Josh,
it's literally like the AMC stock, dude. It's just going down.
Dude, I don't know if you remember this, but I think a couple days, a couple days before we obviously went out, you were telling me you had this like really, really ambitious plan. And you're like, yeah, dude, like I'm gonna be there for 12 hours. You're like, I'm gonna bring a 24 case of White Claws, and
Yeah,
your goal in the moment was to drink a White Claw every half hour.
yeah, that
Do
would
you
have been
think that was
tough.
overly ambitious? Do you think that would have been realistic?
No, no. I think, however, for the first like 3 hours,
Yeah.
that's actually true.
Oh wow, not bad.
I was crushing 2 claws an hour. Um, then my mouth started to get a little hot,
Yeah.
and that was nice.
Started
I'm
to
like,
dial it back a little bit from that point on.
but yeah, better slow down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so White Claws, they're dangerous, dude. They're still dangerous.
Yeah.
And I feel as if everyone else is kind of drinking like Trulies and shit, and I'm sticking to the goats, dude. I'm sticking to the lockdown drink of the summer of 2020, the good old
Dude.
White Claw seltzers.
Can you confirm this for me? Do you think out of all of those like hard seltzers and whatever the fuck it is, like White Claws, Nudes, like let's say like even like the Bud Light seltzers, all that kind of shit,
Yeah.
do you think White Claws are the sweetest by far? Like that's
Out
one
of
thing
all
I've
those?
noticed. Yeah, like White Claws definitely have to be the sweetest.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's
Even like neutrals and shit, like White Claws are fucking
yeah, but you know what though?
flavorful.
When I think of soda, especially like seltzer,
Yeah.
like I think of sweet drinks, like I'm convinced still on like Twisted Teas and ale,
Yeah.
and that's
Growers.
and that's not real. Yeah, growers. Dude, growers is gnarly. Like if you didn't drink a 2 liter of Great Growers
Yeah.
in your parents' backyard in grade 9, were you even a teenager?
Yeah.
That's my question for you. I think that was kind of the beginning. What was your first like ever drink?
Like actual drink, like alcoholic drink?
Like I got drunk off of Bacardi Breezers, which
Oh,
were
what?
essentially like wine coolers, and they were like
Yeah.
peach flavored. Fuck, they were so good, dude.
Really?
Then I merged into Palm Bays.
Yeah.
I'm all about the fruity drinks, dude.
Dude, I think mine was the first drink I ever had was I think my grandpa slid me a gin and tonic
Oh, that's
as a
tough
kid.
one. That's
It
tough.
wasn't that bad. Like tonic water, I don't know. I kind of like tonic water, so it was super fine. But then
Yeah.
after that, slowly it's like beer and whatnot. But
Fuck.
dude, fucking yesterday, I
Mhm.
got Smirnoff Iced before I showed up to see you guys. And I was like planning on taking an Uber to go meet you guys and everything. And it was gonna be like all fine and dandy. Like I didn't have to worry about driving.
Yeah.
And I get fucking hit by a liter Smirnoff Ice like right before my Uber
Wait,
comes.
did
Like
you drink the full liter?
whole thing.
You're
Before dude, the Uber was there in like 3 minutes. I'm like, fuck, I gotta drink this thing.
Dude, you're
And
an
it's just
animal,
like,
bro. You're an
dude,
animal.
thank you. Worst decision. It started off my night on such a shitty foot because I think when I showed up with you guys were like, oh, like let's start taking fucking shots and drinking. And I'm like, okay, sick. But I was like, I can't. Like I want to, but I just crushed this thing in a few minutes. I got here like I had like 10 minutes ago and I'm here now. I'm like, I don't want to fucking take shots.
Dude, what I will say, and the one thing I will say about you, Raph, is of all of our friends,
Yeah.
you're the one that rallies the hardest.
You think?
In my opinion. Yeah, because you're not afraid to just crack open a couple brews and just drink them like quickly, but you're not like flamboyant about it. Like you just catch up moderately.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
You know, you drink and then you assess and you're like, okay, am I with these guys?
Can I keep going?
It's like, okay, crack another one. Okay, I'm gonna drink, own speed, but at a quicker rate. And then you just go. And then as soon as you're level, like you don't try and outdrink us.
Yeah.
But you just like you put yourself on that level. And I feel like you're smart enough to know that when you came, we weren't starting to wind down, but we weren't drinking at a quick rate.
Yeah.
We drank at a quick rate, but not to like get to where we were, but to where we were going to be.
Yeah.
The next like half hour. So I feel like you're clever in that. Because it's not easy to be that guy to show up and be offered shots after he just crushes a liter Smirnoff Ice, says yes to the shot, and then proceeds to crack open a beer.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot, dude.
I don't know if you remember, but like what's it called? We were playing beer pong after.
Yeah.
And then
did we win a beer pong last night? We did.
Yeah. You and me, you and me ran the table. But there you go. What's it called? Like a couple of our buddies, they went to go like take a shot because they lost or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sick. And then they make these like tequila and like these like tequila shots. And they looked really good. And then they drank them, and I just remember being like, "Can I have one?" just, just for fun. And then, dude, they were fucking great. Yeah. They're like, "Here you go."
100%.
Yeah, but it was
love
way
that.
too late. Like, when you're like, when like you're drunk and you're tired and you're like slowly sobering up, but your body's like really exhausted, and then you have another drink and it puts you in this like weird position
Yes.
where it's like you're kind of like turning up, but you're also like winding down at the same time. That's kind of what happened then after I took that. It was not good.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but
so
anyways.
I guess the moral of the story is we were both pretty hungover today.
Dude, yeah.
It hit us pretty hard. I don't know about you, dude, but I woke up and I wasn't rough shape. I didn't puke or anything.
Neither did I.
I woke up today thinking, just Jesus fuck, someone just kill me now. And
we can't do it anymore. We can't party like we used to.
Dude, we can't party like we're in the early 20s, dude. We're in our mid-20s now. We're mature. We're mature gentlemen.
I think we can back-to-back days, like bender days, we can maybe do 2, maybe a third. No more. We can't do I don't know about you, I can't do more than 3 days in a row of partying.
Dude, all I'm saying though is you look at all the boys saying, "Hey, when COVID's done, we're going to Scottsdale, we're gonna go to Vegas." Dude, I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna be sober.
I'm gonna like for every fucking hey y'all I'm gonna yug, I'm gonna have a liter of water right next to me.
Yeah.
And
actually.
And I think today was one of my not the worst hangover, but definitely one of the worst ones because like not only was I heavily drinking throughout the whole day, but I was also outside in the hot fucking sun, and that's a tough sell.
Oh, that'll do it for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely a tough one.
But my tolerance, though, is still there. My tolerance is money.
You think so?
Yes. Yeah, the tolerance is pretty good.
I mean, you just keep going. You're also one of those people, too, where it's like we talked about it again earlier, like you pulled trigger. Like you're known for that. Like you know that when you get too drunk, it's like if you want to feel better, you know exactly what you have to do. Yeah. And you can bounce back and then you can keep going after that.
Yeah, I'm surprised, dude, because like after that first White Claw, after I yacked, I could just feel the vodka mixing with the residue of the vom in my mouth, that was a tough one.
That does not sound good at all.
Exactly. So, other than that, I mean, should we jump in here? Let's
go for it.
Where you're silent and I'm talking, so
I will try to contribute as much as I can.
I like that. So, NHL talk. We are in the heart of the first round of the NHL playoffs, and safe to say, well, there was an elimination game today.
Washington, right?
The Colorado Avalanche, and actually there were 2, now that you mentioned that. The Boston Bruins have officially eliminated the Washington Capitals in 5 games. That's a shock because I had the Caps in 6, so that's brutal. As we speak right now, the Winnipeg Jets and Edmonton Oilers are going to the first overtime, tied at 4. So I was watching this game, Raph. That's why I was late to the recording.
Yeah.
So to put this into perspective, I watched the last 10 and a half minutes of the third period. Edmonton was up 4-1. They are now going into overtime. Winnipeg scored 3 goals in probably 7 minutes.
They're not going down without a fight, eh?
Dude, Winnipeg is up 2-0 in the series.
Oh, wow. Good for them.
So it's Edmonton, and I'm telling you right now that this is the TSN turning point here. If Winnipeg wins this game, you're done. Like Edmonton you're not coming back. You're not good enough. And here's kind of the best part I like about this is I had Edmonton winning this series in 7 games. And
didn't you also have Edmonton as a Stanley Cup favorite as well?
Well, I'll get to that because boy Elijah had Edmonton actually winning the cup.
Oh wow.
This year. And they're about, well, depends. If Winnipeg wins this game, they're a game away from getting bounced in the first round. And fucking Elijah had them winning the Stanley Cup. So that's a tough look for Elijah. And he's not really there to defend himself.
Elijah just can't like things. Whenever he likes a specific team, they just lose.
He can't do it, dude. He can't do it yet. He's our biggest betting gambling friend with DraftKings. So that's kind of ironic. So that's happening as we speak. So that's an interesting series. And dude, I'll hand it to Winnipeg, dude. They are relentless.
Yeah.
I did not think Winnipeg was going to be. I knew they were going to do well this year, but to where they're at now, they're playing really well.
Are they playing like a really physical game against Edmonton, or are they just kind of matching their speed instead? What are they doing?
Pretty physical. I mean, like I've said this before, when you're going up against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, you have to be comfortable with them getting on the score sheet. You can't let them just blow it up because you're easily going to lose at that point. But you have to be okay with them probably one person getting a goal or one getting like a couple assists. Like that's going to happen. They're going to get on the score sheet somehow. But you need to limit that. So, I mean, I haven't looked at how those 4 goals were scored for Edmonton today. I assume it's some of them. But yeah, so that game going to first overtime. And then the one that I am very confident about, dude, and I called this series, was Colorado sweeping. Get the brooms out.
Get the brooms.
St. Louis Blues, baby. I called that series. I said Colorado in 4. St. Louis is not going to win a game.
Yeah.
See you later, St. Louis. Have a good summer on the golf course. We'll see you in October. Thanks for fucking coming.
That's tough, getting swept in the first round.
It was tough. It was tough. So Colorado, dude, this team is nasty.
Yeah.
And they are so fucking quick.
Yeah.
Grubauer is playing out of his mind in net right now. Cale Makar is just literally what I aspire to be in a hockey player.
Yeah.
He is so good. He is so good. And I know that we're a Vancouver podcast, but when I watch Cale Makar play, there can't be a doubt in my mind that Cale Makar is, I would say, better than Quinn Hughes.
You think so?
Dude, this guy's so nasty.
He's not bad.
So nasty. And again, like he has the supporting cast around him to help him.
Yeah.
On a team like Colorado, but so does Quinn Hughes. But I look at the years that they both had and where they're at in their careers. They're same age.
Yeah.
So I'm loving what Colorado's doing. I have them winning the cup, so I like how they swept in the first round. That's 4 quick games. Take a few days off and wait for
everybody to recover.
Yeah, for the Vegas and Minnesota series to finish up.
Hopefully those 2 teams burn themselves out, because I'd also really like to see Colorado progress a little bit. But dude, do you want to touch on, speaking because we're talking about Colorado? Do you want to touch on you want to talk about the hit?
Let's talk about it. So I don't know what game it was. I think it was the last, not the elimination game. Maybe it was
game 3. I think it was game 3, wasn't it?
Could have been game 3. I think you're right about that.
2 or 3.
Nazem Kadri, fucking, he smoked.
Yeah.
Justin Falk smoked him.
Yeah.
In the head. It was an open ice hit. The elbow came up. It seemed as if there was no intent to get the puck. And now he got dropped an 8-game suspension from the NHL Player Safety's office. And when I look at that, people are calling for Kadri's head and kicked out of the league, like very much Tom Wilson treatment. Very much so.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I will say is I guess people aren't necessarily denying that the hit was bad, but fans being fans, the verdict is never going to be 100% approved by fans or the team.
Yeah, someone's always going to be upset. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like it.
However, the rule of thumb usually is if that happened in a regular season, like a full 82-game season, Kadri probably would have gotten like 15 games.
Yeah, but because it's a playoff push.
15 to 20.
Yeah.
However, normally if that hit is in the playoffs, usually that hit is pegged as like a 2 to 3 game. The fact that this guy got 8 is fucking crazy to me. I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it because he has a really bad history.
Yeah.
He essentially got Toronto eliminated from the playoffs in 2016, I want to say, for taking a cheap shot at Jake DeBrusk. And he got 3 games for that, which essentially he was so effective in that series, it essentially costed Toronto that series.
Yeah.
And he's a big part of that team. And so when you see 8 games, that's nuts to me. That is huge for the playoffs because now he still has to serve another 6. So even if even if
he could miss an entire series.
He could miss an entire sereries, and
Yeah.
he would be there only for Game 7.
Yeah.
For next round. That's the only way that this way goes. Now, I read an article, came out an hour ago before we started recording. He's appealing the suspension. Now, I don't really know the process of what goes in to appealing a suspension. You know, so basically what that means is he's trying to get his games reduced. He's probably going to go from, he's already served 2 of them. He's already served 2 games. So
he has 6 left.
He actually only has 6 left, which again isn't bad. So
could you imagine if this was like a parking ticket and if you appeal it and they just deny you anyways, and it just like gives you basically have to pay the full fine, like you have to redo the 8 game suspension? Like that would suck.
100%. Oh yeah,
that'd be awful.
They would never like reinstate the 8 games.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to get a reduction on the 6. The most I see happening is he gets 1 game reduced, and they reduce the remaining suspension down to 5 games.
Nothing any more substantial.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, regardless like of rest or anything like that, Kadri is missing 5 games, 6 games, no matter what it is. And I like Kadri. I really do. I think he's such an effective player. He's such, you know what he is? He is a modern day Ryan Kessler. A great 2-way center that plays physical, that can piss off the other team.
Yeah.
But he walks a fine line. He well, if I'm permitted, I guess it's a pun. He literally skates on thin ice, dude. He skates on thin ice a lot of the time. He does not play. He plays a chippy game. He's a Matthew Tkachuk. He's a Max Domi. He's a Tom Wilson. Like that's what Kadri is. You know, so as a fan for that team, you love him. But if he hurts one of your guys, you're probably pissed off.
Yeah.
And I think Justin Falk actually played today. I think I saw him on the ice. So he wasn't out for too long. But we can jump into the next hit.
Well, one thing I was going to really quickly say, though, I guess this might be kind of segueing into what you're also saying, but it's like that hit was like the way that Falk was laying on the ice was pretty reminiscent of the Tavares hit.
Yeah. So so let's touch on that. So John Tavares, game 1.
Yeah.
Just freak accident.
Yeah.
Basically what happened for people that didn't see it.
There's no way you could actually like script this in any way.
Yeah. John Tavares was, I guess, forechecking. And he ended up tripping over a Habs player, and he went down on the ground, and before he could get out of the way, Corey Perry came fucking flying out of the zone. His knee hit Tavares' head.
Yeah.
Tavares was later stretchered off. Now, people saying, and I think like 99% of the hockey community agrees with me, but for that 1%, fuck you, because if you think that this was an intentional hit, you were out in left field.
There's no way it was.
A fast-paced game, plus Corey Perry knows John Tavares. They are good friends. They are former Olympic teammates. They know each other very well. And obviously, yes, Corey Perry kind of doesn't always have the best history, for sure. I understand that. But this was not a dirty play. That was just a freak accident. And when you have guys fucking skating 28 kilometers an hour out of their zone, and you can see Perry tried to jump out of the way, and he didn't jump high enough because his knee came up and hit Tavares. So, and later on, Nick Foligno ended up dropping the gloves with Perry, and that was to squash everything that was there. The players held Perry accountable, even though Perry didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
It was Foligno sticking up for his teammate. Perry answered the bell as he should. And that was it. And everything is squashed. And then later on that night, Nick Foligno was asked about the fight with Corey Perry. And he said, let's get something straight. That was an accident. So even the other team is essentially letting Perry off the hook. Because he fought, and everyone realized it was an accident. So,
which is good, because that's a classy move. Like that could definitely be spun in a really, really terrible way, but like 100%. That's the appropriate way to handle it.
And I think what it does as well is, had Perry not answered the bell, or had, even if it was an accident, but had Perry not answered the bell, there is justice that has not been served on the ice. And what that does is that leaves more players vulnerable to just cheap shots. Not saying that they're going to be out fucking head hunting or anything like that, but it just makes this series a little bit more chippy.
Yes.
Now, I guess the other side of all this is Toronto lost their captain. And judging by game 2, it didn't really look like they needed him because Toronto smoked Montreal 5-1.
Yeah.
So there's that. But, John Tavares he's an effective player. He's the captain. He's one of the best players on that team. And if Toronto is going to go far in the playoffs, I think losing Tavares, he's done for the year for sure.
Yeah.
I think
he got cleared out of hospital. He's what's it called? Out indefinitely, I think they said was the last thing.
So yeah. I think the biggest thing with this is that really hurt Toronto's chances of winning the cup.
I think it's still doable.
It's doable, but it's going to be that much harder because now you don't have a key power play member. You lost your captain. You lost your second line center. And that puts a lot more pressure on Austin Matthews to deliver because now you don't have a second line. So there's that. Anyways, do you have anything else on Johnny T?
No, I'm all good. I was going to say, I think, should we move into the, the Travis Green extension?
Mm-hmm. So
additional 2 years.
Canucks talk. Travis Green here for another 2 years. In the words of the Philadelphia 76ers, he's trusting the process. He is back. The Aquilinis are bringing back Travis Green. I am not mad about it. I actually really like it. I like Travis Green. He seems like a very much player coach. I think he's got a good thing going with his team and with his players. I think it's always nice to have a solidified coach when you're still kind of developing your core and seeing what this team is really made of and still trying to get them into the playoffs. I find it hard for teams to adjust to a new coach, especially with young players and a young captain. So, and I think one thing I will say and what I will compare is a team like Calgary, who's dealt with so many head coaches in the past, and good players like Sean Monahan and Johnny Gaudreau have not actually been as fortunate. That was a gnarly voice crack, Raph.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That out. Like, can you taking my tone? Yeah, it's live now.
I'll just isolate the clip and run it back a few times.
Yeah, there you go. Love that. So when I look at Calgary, I look at very limited coaching stability, and Vancouver's been pretty fortunate. I mean, if I am correct, their last couple coaches, their last one was Torts, I want to say.
Yep.
And before Torts, it was Alain Vigneault, and that's all they've had since their cup run, pretty much. So
2010.
There's definitely been some coaching stability in the Canucks organization, and I like how they stick to that. Whereas someone like Calgary, who originally had some pretty similar makeup to the Canucks, haven't really stuck to that. And you look at where both teams are now. Obviously, Vancouver is dead last, but I would definitely prefer the Canucks situation over Calgary's for sure. So I'm happy about it. I'm glad he's back. I think there's definitely some progress to be made there for sure. Obviously, Elijah would always say the power play needs to get better. That's a huge one. The penalty kill can definitely improve, but your locker room and the players that you're going to get. And obviously Travis Green does have a good say in what players are going to be signed, which ones are going to be leaving, opposed to having a coach come in who potentially replaces Green and is looking at it from fresh eyes, which can obviously be good or bad depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah, well, I think just like with anything, whenever you get brought into a situation like that, you want to have as much time as possible to work with your team, right? Like develop them, let them grow, understand them, that kind of deal, right? So if you have a situation like Calgary where you keep having a very high turnover in coaches, it's like you're not going to have coaching stability, and then your team is not going to be able to adapt to one specific kind of play style. They're going to keep trying to switch things up, and then they're suddenly going to start losing a synergy that they might have,
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I agree with you. It was really nice seeing him come back for at least another couple of years. And I don't know, I was just quickly looking up some stuff on him recently, and he's also betting on himself to get the Canucks to the playoffs next season. So hopefully we do see that come to fruition. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, definitely
all right.
exciting.
So I think in terms of hockey talk, so we've discussed Kadri, we've got Perry out of the way.
Yeah.
The Avs are done.
Preds,
dude, the last thing I will say, we can move on here, is Nashville Predators, man. They tied it up in the series.
Really?
They ended up beating Carolina in overtime in back-to-back games to tie the series up at 2, turning out to be a really good series. And, dude, Nashville is fully open right now, and their fans are fucking nuts. Nashville has always been a crazy hockey market somehow. And that building was loud as fuck. And speaking of which, breaking fucking news, Winnipeg just scored the OT winner.
No way.
3-0 in the series.
On Edmonton.
Fucking thanks for coming, Connor McDaddy. Thanks for coming to Washington. Your season is done. See you fucking
tough.
later. It's not
That's so
yet
fucking
done.
tough.
It's still one more game, but Edmonton needs to win 4 straight.
You think Edmonton, dude, you think they can reverse sweep it? You think they can do it?
Dude, I think you have to look at the record for that.
Yeah.
What's the record for teams coming back? Like, even in all of like major sports, like even in baseball, hockey, basketball, it is not a lot, dude.
Dude, I am calling it right now. I think if Edmonton wins the next 2 games, I think they're reverse sweeping Winnipeg.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, it could be done. I mean,
2 games is all you need, because then they'll start snowballing. Winnipeg's going to start panicking, and then Edmonton's going to have that motivation, that confidence that they need to push through the next 2 games.
Yeah. One thing I will say about this game is typical fucking Edmonton. And Edmonton fans, you are not going to get any remorse from me here. That is brutal. You guys had a 4-1 lead with 10 minutes to go in the game, and you lose 5-4 in overtime. That is just unacceptable. That is unacceptable. You do not deserve to win a series if you're going to play that way. Move on.
But if you reverse sweep, then maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the comeback kids. Okay, F1. Haven't discussed F1 in a while. I don't know why. I haven't really been asking Elijah if he's been watching Drive to Survive. I still feel like he should be, but he's not.
Dude, I was thinking about starting Drive to Survive the other day.
Yeah, I know, but you're not going to finish it. But if you do,
it's going to be tough. It's on deck. I have like 2 TV series on deck right now. I have, I guess 3. I have Night on Earth, Drive to Survive, and Creep Show.
Good shit.
So whichever one comes first.
Love that. I'm down. So if you do watch it, let me know and we'll talk about it, and I'll get really excited.
I'm in.
Okay. F1. Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Probably the most luxurious race that they have on the F1 calendar. It's where all the rich people go in Monte Carlo. There were some fans in the stands. Dude, what a fucking race. So I'm just going to read out some headlines here. Okay. Lots of headlines. Well, the first one is yesterday, Charles Leclerc for Ferrari ended up taking pole position to start first in the race.
Yes.
He then proceeded to crash his car in qualifying.
Yep.
And pretty sure he fucked up his gearbox. So then on the formation lap today, his gearbox failed and he had to retire from the race before.
Fuck.
So he got and the way that Monaco works, for people that don't know, it's a very narrow street circuit and
very windy.
Yeah, windy as well. And passing is pretty much impossible. You can't pass in Monaco. It is literally not doable.
Yeah.
So if you that's why qualifying is such an important part in this race, because the overtakes are so limited. So if you qualify in 1 and you have a good start off the line, chances are you're going to win that race.
Yeah.
Now, our boy Max Verstappen qualified in 2nd place.
Yeah.
So when Leclerc had to retire,
Verstappen took the number 1 seed.
He had the number 1 position. So Verstappen won, and Lewis Hamilton, the rival, the guy that's leading in the Drivers' Championship, finished 7th.
Oh, that puts up. Does that put Verstappen above?
Verstappen is in the lead. He's up by 4 points in the Drivers' Championship. And this shit is actually starting to come down to the wire. Now, obviously, it's still a long season. Monaco is probably only a third of the way.
Yeah.
But you look at where Red Bull is, and holy shit, dude. I think I might say it. I think Max is actually going to win the driver's title this year. I truly believe that.
He deserves it.
He deserves
He's a great driver.
100%. So that's one headline. Then Valtteri Bottas was Hamilton's teammate, did not finish, a DNF.
Oh.
So there was a pit stop today. The front right tire, dude, apparently it just would not come off. Like it was just attached to the car. There was a bolt or something that couldn't. He was in the pits for 45 seconds. They still couldn't get it, and they just retired him.
Wow.
So now in the Constructors' Championship, so for the Constructors, so Drivers' Championship is individual points.
Mm-hmm.
Constructors is the 2 drivers' points put together.
Yeah.
Essentially team points. Red Bull has now passed Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship because Verstappen came first, obviously.
Yeah.
And Sergio Perez finished 4th.
Nice.
So really good points for Red Bull. I'm rooting against Mercedes. I'm sorry. They've just been on top for too long.
Yeah. Who are the other 2 podium finishes in Monaco?
Yes, I should probably say that. Carlos Sainz for Ferrari ended up actually coming up huge. He ended up coming 2nd. And Lando Norris for McLaren ended up coming 3rd. So that's huge. And when you look up at the table, the battle for 1st and 2nd is crazy. And so is the battle for third and 4th, because it's Red Bull and Mercedes going toe-to-toe this year, as they always have been. And now it's McLaren Ferrari going for 3rd, which is huge. So, I mean, it's definitely like new world for 1st and 2nd, and then old rival of Ferrari and McLaren. That's like,
I was going to say,
that goes back to like the 70s, man. So this season is crazy. I'm pumped. So can't wait.
How many races are left? Probably not a lot.
There's probably 13.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there's obviously still a lot of points to be given out, but nonetheless, it's pretty good. So I'm excited. Next up is Baku, which is another street circuit. So we will see how that goes.
Cool. How's Renault doing throughout this whole thing? Are they just absolutely shitting the bed, or are they still racing okay?
Well, Renault was bought out by Alpine Alpine Racing, and they're not doing too hot. They're pretty shit right now.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and so is Aston Martin. Like, it's very interesting this year. It's either like you're really good or you're really bad.
Really?
There's definitely some points to be had, though, for sure.
We always talk about this. This wasn't the first year that they had a salary cap, was it?
I forget what the cap was, but I'm pretty sure this was the first year, yes.
It was like 300,000, I think, for cars, or like 125,000 or something like that. It was one or the other.
I think it was in the millions, but yeah, it's it's
definitely in the millions.
I think it was like 30 million. Something like that was the cap. But yeah, so lots of stuff going on right now.
145 million, sorry.
145 million, which is huge when you consider that Ferrari and Mercedes spend like upwards of the 400 millions on their cars. So, okay, shall we move on?
Sure. What are you thinking? What do you want to do next?
Internet stories, dude. It's going to be a short epi. We're almost at the end.
I guess we don't have Elijah to fill in all the awkward pauses. It's just like random stories and whatnot.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think we're just more efficient this way.
We are absolutely more efficient. We're on a deadline.
I know. Okay, I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to let you go with your internet story.
Cool.
Let me know.
My internet story is something that I'm very excited about, and I feel like is being glazed over in this world right now, which is kind of upsetting. But Obama has kind of indirectly said that there are UFOs or objects that are flying around in the sky that we have no idea what they are.
Oh, baby.
And I'm so fucking excited on this. Like, it's obviously kind of scary, but I personally think that the concept of, like, let's say, like, in this giant fucking ever-expanding universe, if we're the only people who are there, I think that's more scary than if there's other races who might be more technologically advanced than us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The concept of loneliness is that much worse. But dude, there was like it was an interesting thing. Like, he was saying a lot of interesting things, and like one thing that they even talked about was they talked to a Navy pilot who said he'd basically seen one of these unidentified phenomenons like flying around in the sky.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, yeah, it kind of like happened almost every day for a couple of years where you'd see something weird.
Oh shit.
So I mean, there's like, yeah, it's really weird. And then what's it called? This is a quote from Obama. It was saying, "What is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they move or their trajectory."
Interesting.
Yeah. Like that's kind of fucking
Rock breaking
sick.
the news, dude.
Yeah.
Man,
Like that's
you have to
wild.
and see this guy is still fucking breaking headlines. I love it.
Yeah. Now, okay, I don't want to like whip out like my fucking tinfoil hat or anything too soon, but as a kid, I remember I was growing up. I think I was probably in like 5th or 6th grade, and I was like outside playing with my friends. Late at night, clear sky, you could see all the stars, everything was beautiful. I shit you not, me and my buddy were standing outside and we saw a star, something that looked like a star, like a really, really bright one, that was moving in a way that it shouldn't have moved.
Interesting.
And I'm saying like, dude, like you know when you see like a plane like fly across the sky in like a linear trajectory, right?
Yeah.
This one was like it was like moving in like random ways, almost kind of like let's say like the shape of like a rhombus.
Okay.
Sometimes like varying the angles in which direction it'd go in.
Yeah.
But it also speed up and slow down in really interesting ways.
Wild.
Yeah. So it's like it wasn't a consistent speed that it was moving at. It was always different. It was really, really fucking weird.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never had like a run-in with that type of shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, for people to say that like aliens don't exist, yeah, sure. I think there's an argument that could be said with that.
Yeah.
However, I think you're naive if you think that of all the shit that's out in the universe, there's not some type of life form. Now, obviously not human, but something with, that is similar to a brain or something that is similar to like a body or a structure.
Yeah.
So it's fucking wild. And like, there's obviously something out there if you have an area like Area 51.
Yeah.
Or you have, the CIA, or you have the KGB, like just fucking hiding secrets. Like there's shit out there for sure. And I've always wondered, like, what level of security do you have to have? What clearance do you have to have in the U.S. government to know that shit?
Dude, so another quote, it's funny that you bring up like the CIA and everything. There's what's it called? There's a quote from this guy who's I can't remember. It doesn't say his full name, and it just refers to him as Carlson. But he says like the Pentagon admits it doesn't know what in the world this is. And he's like, from a national security perspective, this is a very big problem.
Fuck.
Like that's nuts. That's actually fucking crazy, dude.
I love it. I wonder when that day comes, and I wonder what it's like.
What do you mean?
Like, what happens when we discover something and you're like, dude, like we caught it, or you shoot something down.
Yeah.
You look and you're like, fuck, like that's a thing, dude.
Or the point where it's like you start taking it apart and dissecting it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say like this like flying object or whatever. You start like understanding how it works, and then you start replicating it, so you have your own now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
like that's wild.
I like that thought.
Yeah. Massive jump in technology.
Love it. Okay, my internet story, dude.
Yeah.
It's a sports one.
Okay.
Come on down.
Yeah.
But it happened today. Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
Phil the Thrill won the PGA Championship today. That is huge.
He is officially the oldest individual to win the PGA, right?
Don't steal my thunder.
Sorry.
He's the oldest PGA winner. And the fact that it's a major as well, that's fucking crazy. So here's another fact for you. He is the only athlete of NFL, NHL, baseball, basketball to win in the last 4 decades.
Oh, really?
He's the only guy, only athlete.
Once a decade for 4 decades?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 50.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's really good for him.
So he won really young on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then because he started to come out in I want to say the late 80s.
Yeah.
Even, I think, or maybe early 90s. But yeah, so Phil Mickelson, the fan favorite, man. This guy continuously gets it done. And I love it. I love how some of these golfers, they do not age. Because you have Tiger Woods here, but Phil Mickelson was right there.
Yeah.
He's obviously a little bit older, but yeah, what a fucking story. I think that's absolutely crazy for a guy his age to still get it done.
Yeah, good for him. He also plays a very entertaining style of golf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like over the years, like the shots that he's tried and like the plays that he's attempted, it's like they're not the most practical sometimes, but it's like it's
No.
fun to watch. It's fun to see if he'll do it. You know what I mean?
And I think as well, like he's just very well liked in the
Yeah.
PGA community. Like if you're a golf fan, I've never
Yeah.
heard anyone say, "Oh, I don't like Phil
Mickelson.
You know, he's just not that guy. I mean, it's hard to dislike certain golfers. I mean, like if they cheat, then yeah, sure. Like, and they get caught cheating, I could see that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's unreal, and for a guy to achieve that feat, to win in every decade in the last 4 decades is crazy. That is
absolutely.
So yeah.
Do you think he's going to retire anytime soon, or do you think he's still going to play for a little bit?
No, he's still going to go. I mean, whether or not he stays on the PGA Tour is up to debate, but he definitely could go on the Champions Tour, which is like pretty much like the retirement savings plan for hey guys.
That's sick. I think you should do that. I like what's the average age you think for a golfer like of his caliber to retire?
Like from the PGA or just in general?
Just in general, let's say.
Oh, dude. Like from
let's say PGA as well. Let's say both.
I would say that most PGA Tour guys leave when they're like 50, 55.
Okay. Yeah.
Like and then you start to go on the Champions Tour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's nuts. Like I thought about this win today and thought to myself, dude, like this is you losing to your grandpa in golf.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you might have the power, you might have the swing speed, yet you know,
he's just so much more technical.
He's just so technical and probably just in such a better mindset than you. And
he's seen it all.
He's seen it all, man. So yeah, I thought it was crazy to see that. I love Phil. I think he deserves it. And
yeah,
it's great. So, dude, do we have anything else?
I don't know, dude. I don't think so.
Fuck, I think that's it, man.
I feel like we should just talk about random shit until we hit the hour mark. We haven't done an episode under an hour in ages.
God. All right. Well, if you have an idea, I'm all ears.
Dude, I got nothing. I don't have any more internet stories or anything.
Sick, dude. Good talk.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, well then let's wrap. So as always, episode 47 brought to you
48.
48, Shaq. 48 brought to you by DraftKings. This episode is dropping tomorrow, May 24th. And we'll see you punks on Tuesday for a live episode, which drops on Thursday.
There you go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget promo code THPN with DraftKings.
Savor this episode because Elijah will be back next episode. So
yes,
you guys enjoyed your time away from him because I know he did too.